The courtroom went silent when Marcus Thompson opened the brown paper lunch bag. It was not because he was eating during a hearing. It was because of what was inside. One granola bar and one small juice box with cartoon animals on the front. The snack was not even meant for him. It belonged to his 6-year-old daughter. Judge Judy had spent decades on the bench. She had seen anger, lies, excuses, and arrogance. But that tiny lunch bag made her stop and look at the case differently, because suddenly the file in front of her was no longer just about unpaid fines. It was about a father trying so hard to survive that he had forgotten to feed himself. Marcus stood before the court on a Tuesday morning in April. He was 32 years old. His shirt had a small tear near the collar, stitched carefully by hand. His shoes were old, but polished. His face showed exhaustion, but his posture showed dignity. He was not there to argue. He was there because the city said he owed $6,800 in vendor and traffic-related penalties. The prosecutor explained the case first. Marcus had been cited 17 times in 6 months for operating a small hot dog cart without proper authorization in restricted areas. Each citation carried a fine. None had been paid. The penalties had grown until the city demanded judgment. Judge Judy looked down at the file, then back at Marcus. "Mr. Thompson, do you understand the violations?" "Yes, Your Honor." "And you were operating without proper permits?" "Yes, Your Honor." There was no excuse in his voice, no anger, no attempt to blame the city, the police, or anyone else. He admitted it so plainly that the judge paused. Most defendants fought first and explained later. Marcus simply accepted responsibility, as if he had already punished himself more than anyone in that room could. "The annual street vendor permit is not extremely expensive," Judge Judy said. "Why didn't you get it?" "I tried, Your Honor, 3 times. The prosecutor quickly stepped in. His applications were denied because he applied for locations not zoned for street vending. Judge Judy raised one hand. "Mr. Thompson, if you knew those locations were not approved, why did you keep setting up there?" Marcus swallowed. "Because those are the only places I can be during those hours." The judge leaned in. "Explain that." "I work 3 jobs," Marcus said. "From 11 at night to 7 in the morning, I'm a security guard at Memorial Hospital. After that, I drive rideshare from 7:30 until 2. Then I run the hot dog cart from about 2:30 until 6. The places they say I cannot use are between my second job and my children's school. I have to be close enough to pick them up." "Children?" "3, Your Honor. Maya is 8, Jacob is 6, Daniel is 4, and their mother?" For the first time his jaw tightened. "She passed away 2 years ago. Cancer." The courtroom changed. The silence became heavy. People who had entered expecting another routine fine case now looked at Marcus with different eyes. Judge Judy looked at the citation list again. 17 violations, all in 6 months. "Mr. Thompson, if you kept getting cited, why continue?" "Because without the third income, I cannot pay rent." Legally, he was right. That was the problem. The law was clear. But Judge Judy had learned that justice was not always as simple as reading a rule and lowering a hammer. "Mr. Thompson," she said, "walk me through your day." He looked confused. "From the beginning. What time do you sleep?" "Usually after my security shift. I get home around 7:30. I sleep maybe 3 hours if the kids are already at school, but sometimes I have to handle breakfast, lunches, homework, clothes. My oldest helps, but she is still a child." "When do you eat?" Marcus looked down. "I usually don't. I keep snacks in the car." "What did you bring today?" He hesitated. Then slowly, almost ashamed, he reached into his jacket and pulled out the brown paper bag. The judge watched as he opened it. 1 granola bar, 1 juice box. "That is your lunch. It was supposed to be Maya's after-school snack," he said quietly. "I forgot to pack something for myself." No one spoke. That small juice box said more than any legal argument could. This was a man working 3 jobs, sleeping almost nothing, carrying the weight of 3 grieving children, and still planning to give his daughter the only snack he had. Judge Judy picked up the citation record again. "There is another detail here," she said. "Every violation was issued between 2:15 and 3:45 in the afternoon. Why?" Marcus blinked. "That is when I am trying to finish rides and still get near the school." "Your rideshare shift is supposed to end at 2? "Yes, Mom. But you keep driving." "Between 2 and 4, surge pricing starts. I can make almost double. Those extra rides are the difference between rent and eviction." Judge Judy nodded. "And if you are late picking up the children?" "They go into the after-school program. It costs $15 per child per hour." 3 children, $45 an hour. Every minute had a price in Marcus Thompson's life. How much do you owe now? $6,800. The number struck the room like a blow. And if you cannot pay, my rideshare account can be suspended. If that happens, I lose one of my jobs. If I lose that job, I miss rent. If I lose the apartment, my kids could be taken because I would be homeless. There it was. The real case, not hot dogs, not permits, not citations. 3 children were standing on the edge of losing their father because a system built to enforce rules had no place to measure the cost of destroying one struggling family. Judge Judy turned to the prosecutor. Counselor, you are correct that rules matter, but if we suspend his ability to work, what happens? The prosecutor hesitated. Your Honor, selective enforcement creates problems. The prosecutor had no easy answer. Judge Judy turned back to Marcus. I read more than your citations. You were once a loan officer. You made a stable income. Your wife died. You took time off to care for your children. When you returned, your position was gone. For 18 months, you have been trying to rebuild your life with 3 jobs. Marcus's eyes filled. No one ever asked about that, he whispered. I am asking now, he took a breath. I know I broke the law. I am not asking to get away with it. I just need a way to fix it without losing my kids. Judge Judy sat back thinking. Then she made her ruling. All 17 citations will be consolidated into one case. The fine remains $6,800. You will pay it, but not in the way the city requested. Marcus looked down, defeated, but she raised her hand. You will complete 200 hours of community service, credited at $25 an hour. That accounts for $5,000. The remaining $1,800 will be paid at $50 per month, with no interest. I am aware of what is typical. I am choosing what is just. Your community service will be on weekends at the neighborhood community center. They need renovation work. Your children may come with you because they have a children's program running at the same time. Marcus stared at her, barely breathing. Your license suspension is stayed as long as you comply. Miss one payment, miss one service session, or receive another citation, and the suspension returns immediately. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor, Marcus said, tears now running down his face. I understand. Do not thank me yet. This is not a gift. This is work. Your children are watching how you handle this. Show them that when you make mistakes, you do not hide. You repair the damage. I will, he said. I promise. After the hearing, the prosecutor approached the bench. Your Honor, every defendant will now ask for the same thing. No, Judge Judy answered. Every defendant may ask. That does not mean every defendant will qualify. Marcus Thompson is not dangerous. He is desperate. There is a difference. 3 weeks later, a letter arrived at the courthouse. Marcus wrote that he had an interview at First National Bank. His children had helped him choose a tie from a thrift store. He also wrote that they had completed their first weekend at the community center. Maya had helped paint the children's room and told the director, my dad says when someone gives you a chance, you give back twice as much. Marcus got the job. It did not make him rich, but it gave him stability. He no longer needed 3 jobs. He began sleeping more. His children stopped arriving at school exhausted. He made his payments. He showed up every weekend. He completed the service hours early. 6 months later, Marcus returned to court not because he was in trouble, but because he wanted to pay ahead. He showed Judge Judy a photo of the renovated children's room at the community center. Bright yellow walls, new shelves, books, cushions, and a reading corner. Maya had helped design it. She told me she wants to be a judge, Marcus said, smiling through tears. She said judges help people fix their lives, not just punish them, because the ruling did not end with Marcus. Marcus had not escaped consequences. He paid every dollar. He worked every hour. He reported to the court. He rebuilt what he had damaged and built something more. Marcus Thompson came to court with unpaid fines and a lunch bag that held 1 granola bar and 1 juice box. He expected punishment. What he received was justice. Not easy justice, not soft justice. Real justice, the kind that asks not only what rule was broken, but what outcome will actually repair the harm. Sometimes the law tells us what is allowed, but justice asks what is right.